Chapter 2, Al-Wahid and AHAD/Yachid and Echad, the singular unity. The recursion finds its focus in the shared Semitic roots that describe unity, joining, and solitude. In this section we use the Hebrew roots Echad and Yachid as linguistic proofs to map this distinction. To navigate the Semitic understanding of the divine, one must distinguish between Wahid and Ahad. While both are translated as one linguistically, they describe two different dimensions of unity. Wahid is the numerical first one that initiates a sequence, while Ahad is the absolute one that cannot be divided, added to, or compared one. Wahid, Echad, Al-Wahid is the Arabic name meaning the one, the unique, or the indivisible, derived from the root whd, to be one, to be alone, or to be unique. While one can be a number, Al-Wahid emphasizes the source as the undivided essence that permeates the exile. The name Al-Wahid signifies the one who is single in his essence and attributes without any partner or equal. The one who acts, creates, and leads the sequence of time. This name assures the soul that there is only one truth. It denotes a being who is the starting point, the one who ensures the matrix is not a collection of fragments but a singular integrated reality. It reminds the seeker that to tread is to return to simplicity. It is the spiritual monotheism that proves the source is the only subject while everything else is a reflection of his singular will. This node represents the end of the duality. While previous chapters established the multiplicity of the nodes, this is the unity pulse where the source transforms complexity into singularity. In the original index, this is the perfect equivalent to Bereshit, the source, and the concept of Echad, one. In this station we recognize that the sovereign is the universal integer, the one who provides the mathematical oneness of the matrix too. Ahad/Yachid, the essential one, the one who exists in a state of absolute simplicity prior to and independent of all sequences. Ahad is a unique Arabic form that signifies indivisibility. It is used exclusively for the divine in the Quran, Surah Ikhlas. In the original index this is the perfect equivalent to chapter 1, Bereshit, the source, and the concept of Yachid, only or unique. This node ensures that the entire map is understood as an incomparable reality. It reminds the seeker that to tread is to understand this convergence is to recognize the source as the singular identity. It is the bridge between the many powers and the one power. Unlike the names that follow, which describe interactions such as providing, forgiving, or creating, the name Allah refers to the reality that is independent of the world. It is the silent origin from which the speech of existence begins. It is the point where all linguistic mirrors converge into a single ungraspable light. The principal name, Al-Wahid, acts as the fundamental integration. In the primary verse, Arabic root, wd. The root signifies to be single, to be alone or unique. To call the sovereign Al-Wahid is to say he is the great monad, the one who synthesizes the 113 chapters into a single point of truth where the many become one in the eye of the traveler. The proclamation of unity, and your God is one, Wid, God. There is no deity except him, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful. Quran 2:163. Shar bin Hashav reported that Asma bint Yazid bin As-Sakin narrated that Allah's Messenger, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, said, Allah's greatest name is contained in these two ayat, and your ilah, God, is one ilah, God Allah, la ilaha illa huwa, there is none who has the right to be worshipped but he, the most gracious, the most merciful. And Alif Lam Mim. Allah, la ilaha illa huwa, none has the right to be worshipped but he, al-Hayyul Qayyum, the ever-living, the one who sustains and protects all that exists. 3:1-2. Quran 12:39-02. Companions of prison are diverse lords, better or Allah the one, the irresistible, al-Wahiju al-Qahar. ADH Thori said that Imara bin al-Qaqa narrated that Ibrahim said that Abdullah bin Mas'ud said when they said what they said to him and he explained their dreams to them, they replied, we did not see anything at all. This is when he said, thus is the case judged concerning which you both did inquire. Imam Ahmad collected from Muawiyah bin Hayda that the Prophet, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, said the dream is tied to a bird's leg as long as it is not interpreted. If it is interpreted, it becomes a reality. Al-Ahad, the incomparable oneness, while Al-Wahid represents the one in relation to the many. Al-Ahad is the Arabic name meaning the unique, the one and only, or the absolute unity, derived from the root AHD, to be one, to be unique, or to be alone. In the primary verse say He is Allah who is one, Ahad, the oneness is the final definition. This establishes the rule of absolute reality. Quran 112:1, say He is Allah who is one, Ahad, the designation of the source as the absolute singularity of the system. Ikrimah said when the Jews said we worship Uzair the son of Allah and the Christians said we worship the Messiah, Isa, the son of Allah, and the Zoroastrians said we worship the sun and the moon, and the idolaters said we worship idols, Allah revealed to His messenger, may Allah's peace and blessings be upon him, say He is Allah one. Meaning, He is the one, the singular, who has no peer, no assistant, no rival, no equal, and none comparable to Him. The day of reckoning, to whom belongs sovereignty this day? To Allah the One, Al-Wahid, the prevailing. Quran 40:16, Ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, that Allah will roll up the heavens and the earth in His hand and will say, I am the king, I am the compeller, I am the proud. Where are the kings of the earth? Where are the tyrants? Where are the proud? In the hadith about the trumpet it says that Allah will take the souls of all of His creatures and there will be none left but Him alone, with no partner or associate. Then He will say, whose is the kingdom today? 3 times, and He will answer Himself by saying, it is Allah's, the one, the irresistible. Its Hebrew conceptual equivalent is Yachid, which means only, solitary, or unique. While Echad can be a composite one, AHAD/Yachid is the absolute one. Linguistically, the scripture proves that Yachid is the state of having no substitute. When applied to the divine, it signifies that God is not just one God among many possibilities, but that the very category of God is occupied by a single solitary reality. The property to reject any duplicate, signal, or partnership in the logic. Al-Ahad acts as the fundamental simplicity. In the primary verse say He is Allah one, Ahad, the oneness is the final definition. This establishes the rule of absolute reality. Hebrew root, chd. The root denotes uniting or collecting into one. It carries the sense of integrity. It implies that the unique one integrates the traveler's experience within the 113 chapters, turning the diversity of the nodes into a coherent singular understanding of the source. The Hebrew tradition emphasizes this indivisibility through the lens of the Yeh with Makron, the watchword of the faith, signifying a unity that encompasses all of existence. Ha-Yeh with Makron, this is the direct functional mirror to Al-Wahid. Derived from the root chd, it describes one. In the Hebrew mind, Yeh with Makron is the declaration of the absolute uniqueness of the divine. It represents the divine as the single point from which all dimensions emerge. Deuteronomy 6:4, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one, Echad, Lord. In the Hebrew Bible, Echad is used to describe a single unit that can be composed of multiple elements. Genesis 2:24, and they shall become Basar Echad, one flesh. 2 beings forming one unit. Exodus 26:6, and the tabernacle shall be Echad, one. Many parts forming one structure. Linguistically, Echad/Wahid proves that God is the singular source. He is the one who begins the count of creation. Hayes Mark 12:29. Jesus answered, the most important is, listen Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is, Hayes, one. Yachid. To understand the absolute exclusivity of the divine, we must look at the word Yachid. While Echad is used thousands of times to describe unity or number, Yachid is a rare sharp blade of a word. Yachid comes from the root ychd, to unite/be alone. Unlike Echad, which can describe a composite oneness, like a single cluster of grapes, Yachid represents indivisibility. It denotes a singularity so profound that it implies being only solitary or without peer. It is the Hebrew linguistic equivalent to the Arabic AHAD, the one who has no second. While Echad is the compound unity or the first, Yachid refers to the only one or solitary one. When the Semitic mind applies Yachid to God, it is moving from the numerical one to the unique one. Know that the Lord, He is God, there is none else beside Him. Deuteronomy 4:35. Quran 112:4. Nor is there to Him any equivalent, Kufuwan Ahad. The scale of the Ahad frequency as the boundary of comparison. Psalm 86:10. For Thou art great and doest wondrous things, Thou art God alone, Elevadika. The synthesis of the map frequency and the Ahad solitude. Quran 19:95. And all of them are coming to Him on the day of resurrection alone, Fardan. The confirmation of the Ahad frequency as the ultimate state of the node's return, Munu Omicron Monos. Matt 4:10. Then Jesus said to him, Go away, Satan. For it is written, You are to worship the Lord your God and serve, Monos, only Him. In the Hebrew scriptures, the root is often used to describe the only child or the solitary soul, providing the emotional weight of what it means for God to be the only one in the universe. The term Yachid is used when the emphasis is on the exclusivity and the solitary nature of the subject. Genesis 22:2, Take now your son, your Yachid, only/unique, son Isaac. Psalm 25:16, Turn to me and be gracious to me, for I am Yachid, solitary/alone, and afflicted. Zechariah 12:10, As one mourns for an only, Yachid, son. Wahid and Echad represent oneness in the sense of unity or the first in a series. These terms allow for a composite unity, a single entity made of parts, or a single entity that stands at the head of a count. Echad, the starting point. God is the one who initiates the sequence of 1, 2, 3. Yachid, the end point. God is the one who remains when the sequence is stripped away. Ahad, the Arabic mirror, the final confirmation that the one is absolute. Quran 14:48. And they will come out before Allah, the one, the irresistible, Al-Wahiju Al-Qahar. Zechariah 14:9. And the Lord shall be king over all the earth, in that day shall there be one, Echad, Lord, and His name one, Echad. Quran 2:163. And your God is one, Wahidun, God. There is no deity except Him, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful. While the Torah uses Echad for the daily declaration, the Shema, the later philosophical and liturgical traditions of the Hebrew faith moved to Yachid to protect the divine from any suggestion of parts. The Yachid of Maimonides, in the 13 Principles of Faith, God is described as Yachid Umayachad, unique and singularized. He is Yachid in a way that is unlike any other oneness. The Hebrew Echad proves that God is whole, while the Hebrew Yachid proves that God is peerless. In the liturgical poem Adon Olam, the synthesis is reached. Vehu Echad ve'ein shini. And He is one and there is no second. Here the word Echad is used, but the phrase no second, ein shini, forces the meaning into the realm of Yachid. It proves that divine oneness is a closed system. The scriptures prove that we do not just worship a God but the Yachid, the single reality that allows for no other. The Arabic Wahid and Hebrew Echad prove that God is the head of the system, the first. The Arabic Ahad and Hebrew Yachid prove that God is outside the system, the peerless. If God were only Wahid/Echad, one might imagine Him as the first among many. Because he is AHAD/Yachid, the scripture proves he is the one and only, Yachid Echad. In Zechariah 14:9 the Hebrew text bridges these concepts. In that day the Lord shall be Echad, one, and his name Echad, one. The Hebrew resonance of the AHAD finality, the synthesis of the map frequency and the Wahid conclusion. This predicts a future where the functional one and the essential one are recognized as a single undisputed reality, mirroring the absolute AHAD of Surah Ikhlas. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and Mammon.